Yep, yep, yep. That, you know what that means? That Yeppers is my grand rising for y'all over there in the watchful land of coming and joining me and talk about what we always talk about, something that is going to help you build yourself to your fullest self by learning and knowing yourself, which is a key. As I've gotten, learning and knowing yourself is really the whole key. Knowing oneself is a huge goal. It should be something that everybody seeks, but you have to throw so much to get there of programming, dogma, and false traditions. Yeah, I said it. False traditions that sometimes it's hard to get there for many, as they fall by the wayside or just not in a place to do that through life. And then there's many who have been on this for a while, with, like we talked about. Thank you guys for that self-awareness, the tool of awareness. Really great feedback, watches, and powerful. Got some people really got back to me with some powerful acknowledgments, testimonies. Notice that word, like you got New Testament. I always flake off into this because I hear a word and I go, whoa, I have to, that word. But testament. You got the New Testament. We got testimonies. Got the Old Testament. And that really word comes from testes. Yes, it does. But anyways, that'll be another day to explore. But I wanted to explore a word today that is really an amazing word in the fact that we use it for growth, goals, and if you get a good look at it, it's kind of amazing because you see it, there's a lot of potency or potential in it. Hear what I'm saying? There's a lot of potential in it, which makes you very potent, right? Then we see the word used in religion, potentate, meaning there's a lot of power or potential in that word, in that meaning, in the etymology, right? We use it, and that's sometimes we got to work because these words are magic. What I mean by that, they're creative. Words are so creative that if you don't understand it, and as we keep going over and over the English, things that we think that we say every day are not expansive. You're going to hear a little noise on the side. I'm walking by schools in, so I'm kind of going by this private school, so you may hear some noise to the side of me, right? So a lot of potential that's going forth. But some don't see it. Some are locked in a box. But I've been kind of looking at that and noticing and really seeing that through the system and the programming that full abilities are held back. And the word I'm going to get into is called capabilities, right? Capabilities. We use that as a word as what are you capable of? What are you able? But it's interesting that when you look at the word, the first word is cape. Cape. And when I looked up that word cape, it is used as a cloak or a covering. They even would use it in fights, in bullfights, that when you see that they would use the cape, over him. And when they would slide it from the head to the back, meant that it was connected to the kill they were going to do or the sport, which I'm not advocating for that being the most humanest thing to do for sport. But anyways, that's what they would do, just to really stick to the cape on this one. But the cape. And another thing that really the first thing that popped in my mind is how we really see in entertainment, Hollywood, how we're just totally have a bombardment of movies of superheroes. And the key thing with superheroes is, what do they wear? They all wear capes. Batman, Superman, yada, 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 yada. I'm not a huge I'm personally not a huge into superheroes, because for me, you need to tap in that of yourself. And that's why I see this word and I say, man, it can be used. But notice this word, cape, which is a cloak, which is used with heroes, which is a covering. But then in the word we say capabilities. Come on now. Hear me. There's something that's covering our full abilities and potentials unless we start realizing the covering and going behind that covering or type of veil. We start renting our own veil, opening, getting our own codes and going within and recognize inside that cape is some abilities that we have that are instrumental. I like the word instrumental. Why I use that is because notice the word instrument, which is connected to vibration and sound. We have some capabilities that we need to tap into that nobody really wants you to know your full frequency. It's always in the system. It's wanting you to keep down, so you just kind of hover in the certain area to be led by your nose being pulled like you're a goat, oxen, sheep, cattle. Is to be real. And this is one thing we do here is we take that cape off that which has been censored by a system and we reveal, and it's about us. It's about going more past the 3D that we've been living in and seeing we got to play a 5D game. Hear what I'm saying? Many people still want to play a game in the 3D, even those who somewhat know you don't win 3D. You got to go to 5D because now you're playing not chess but checkers in a place they really don't know of. But now just notice in the superhero realm, we just had a movie called Doctor Strange and the multiverse, right? To maneuver in the multiverse is a real thing. It's the astral plane, it's the planes. Earth is a plane. Come on now. Hear what I'm saying. I'm going to stop in the shade a little bit. Remember we talked about shade a couple weeks ago. Know your capabilities because they are beyond what you experienced. And if you have experience and you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. We're just tapping in to tap in to tap in. To be more multidimensional and of our multidimensional selves, not just limited to a physical body or just the one mirror image, but multi parts of us. That's why we got to remember, put ourselves back to members of our whole self back together into a functioning post where they can continue into magnetation with each other. And there's a realization that we start having in conscious that, I'm all of this. What are my capabilities of communication? And this is what this is. Start using these tools and start tweaking yourself to deal with just emotional stuff. How do you deal with certain situations? Is it the repeated thing that never serves you? Or do you start making those changes? You start seeing a change in your frequency and vibration. What happens when frequency and vibration change happens? You talking about now you're looking at going up a little bit more in the D's. Not 3D, going into 4 and 5s. Come on now. It's time to maneuver. And then you start seeing the frequencies from another whole perspective. That's what it's about. And now you start knowing perspective. And in knowing perspective, you start knowing structure. And when you're seeing structure, you start realizing what that structure is. You see the strengths and the lacking of it. Especially when it's, you can see who's around, inorganic. Know the matrix. Woo! Fake mama. Hear what I'm saying? You're connected to the absolute all of all. So take that cape, go beyond it, cloak it if you want, but hit those abilities so you could take those abilities and have the expansions needed for us to change our perspective. And we start being creators of changing perspective. We start changing everything about us. Get your camera back and make your own movies. I don't like anybody controlling mine. Have a great day. D-Boy.